Scottie Barnes is evolving right in front of us for the Toronto Raptors. All the talk was about Victor Wembanyama coming into this game, and all the talk was about Scottie Barnes after this game. Barnes had a signature performance that solidifies the fact that he's arrived. Barnes is in the midst of an incredible third-year leap that somehow keeps getting better each game. It looked like the Raptors were in for a long afternoon. They played the worst half of basketball of their season and were down big. Barnes actually got off to a poor start as well. He only had 3 points on 1 of 5 shooting going into halftime. The Raptors were down by as many as 22 points in this one, but then the fourth quarter hit and Scottie Barnes happened. What's going on, everyone? It's Luca here, back with another video on this one. I'm going to be talking about Scottie Barnes' evolution and what he means for the Toronto Raptors. If you all can do me a solid favor, please hit a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more Raptors and NBA content just like this. Scottie Barnes absolutely exploded for 17 points in the fourth quarter, including a stretch where he ignited the Raptors' comeback with a pair of threes and an incredible post move and finish over Jeremy Sohan. Look how he just dunks it right over Sohan like it's nothing. Barnes went on a personal 8-2 run. Then later in the frame, Barnes pump faked Wembanyama and blew past him to finish at the rim to get the Raptors within 3 with a minute to play. Barnes then tied the game with a mean step back 3 with 38 seconds left. The way Barnes shot the ball with such confidence, you knew it was going in. And then Barnes wisely intercepted the Spurs' inbounds play and called a timeout with 0.9 seconds left. He nearly even won the game with his one-handed turnaround, which rolled out. The Raptors got off to a quick start in overtime, and they didn't look back. Scottie Barnes and the Raptors overcame a 22-point road deficit to defeat Wembanyama and the Spurs. Barnes was clearly the best player on the court, and he looked like an absolute star. I mean, the way he single-handedly took over that fourth quarter, we haven't seen something like that since Kawhi Leonard. Barnes finished with 30 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and 5 3-pointers made. He continues to be very efficient, particularly from downtown. Barnes in the fourth quarter put up 17 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals. He is the third player in the last 10 years with at least 15 points, along with multiple blocks and steals in a fourth quarter. He joins LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony, both in 2021. Barnes is now averaging 22.6 points, 9.9 rebounds, 5.9 assists on 60.9% true shooting percentage per game. That is simply unbelievable. I mean, he has been on an incredible tear over his last 6. Barnes has posted his 6th straight game with at least 20 plus points. It is truly remarkable what we have seen from Scottie Barnes as the only players with 20 plus points per game, 5 plus rebounds per game, 5 plus assists per game, and 2 plus blocks per game this season. Scottie Barnes and Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid won the MVP last season, by the way. Barnes is leading the Raptors in points, rebounds, and blocks. And now I gotta give some love to the other guys who stepped up in a big way in that win over San Antonio. I mean, OG Anunoby was brilliant. OG Anunoby was right beside Barnes with his production. 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 3-pointers made. And let's not forget, OG Anunoby had to guard Wembanyama all game long. As NBA superstars, when guarded by OG Anunoby, look at what he's done. The latest, Victor Wembanyama was held to 36% shooting. OG Anunoby, he's quietly having a great season in the middle of this Barnes leap, and Barnes and Anunoby have quickly formed a dynamic duo together. Toronto was outscoring opponents by 21.6 points per 100 possessions in 157 minutes with Scottie Barnes and OG Anunoby on the floor together. That is quite the numbers to back up this new duo for Toronto. And then, of course, I got to give a shout out to Dennis Schroeder, who has been unbelievable. He had 24 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals on 52% shooting from the field. He's averaging 16.9 points, 2.9 rebounds, 8.9 assists, and 57.5 true shooting percentage per game. He has been simply unreal. And I told all of you that he'd be the steal of the offseason, and right now it is looking like he is. He's been such a consistent player for the Raptors, and he was the only Raptors player who showed up in the first half of this one. But back to Barnes. I mean, he has truly just burst onto the scene. After a disappointing sophomore season, all eyes were on Scottie Barnes this season. The pressure was on for Barnes to come out and show us that he was the player that was deemed a non-starter in trade talks for Kevin Durant and Damian Lillard in consecutive summers. Barnes has absolutely delivered. He's not only taken a leap, but he's taken a giant one. And the most impressive part about what we've seen from Barnes is that he has shown that he does have that dog in him. The way he's able to completely bounce back after a poor start in that game against San Antonio and then take over the game the way that he did and be impactful on both ends, that's what superstar players do. It's easy to forget that he's only 22 years old. And I did say that this would feel like Barnes' team this season, and it already does by a mile. I also suggested many times that the Raptors build this team around Barnes, and now the direction is clear. The writing has been on the wall for Pascal Siakam for a while now. I wanted the Raptors to explore trades for him since last year's trade deadline. I specifically cited the best move for the team was to not bring back Van Vliet, which they didn't, and trade Siakam for pieces around Scottie Barnes. For those saying give Siakam time and let him develop in this new system and new offense, the problem is Siakam will want max money, and you can't bring him back on a lucrative contract when he's felt like the team's fourth option to this point. Also, a concern I brought up many times was, could these guys truly coexist and both play at a high level together? Right now, it's hard to see Barnes continue to play at this type of level and Siakam play like an all-star as well. It feels like it's one or the other. Right now, OG Anunoby is a bigger priority for the Raptors, who's also entering a contract year. He has stepped up as a nice complementary piece to Scottie Barnes. He's what this team needs, someone who shoots the three ball well and defends just as well on the other end. The Raptors could benefit from having more shooting and ball handling around Barnes, and I don't think Siakam's trade value is low because there's still teams out there that could benefit from him. So we'll see what happens from here on out, but it's clear that this is Scottie Barnes' team. Give him the keys. He's the face of this franchise, and no matter what happens in terms of wins and losses, it's exciting to see the growth and development of a potential homegrown superstar. Barnes has taken the league by storm so far, and it doesn't seem like it's just a flash in the pan. It seems legit. Scottie Barnes is here, and he is turning heads, and in what has been a very floppy, back and forth, inconsistent season, Scottie Barnes has been the one constant bright spot for this Raptors team, and he's given us Raptors fans a whole lot of reason to be excited about this team's future, especially if he's the one leading the way. So we will see how Barnes continues his stellar play. I mean, that has kind of been the most appealing part of these games. Scottie Barnes is continued growth, and what is he going to do next? I mean, this has just been incredible to see. Fred was holding him back in a big way, and now that there's no more Fred VanVleet, Scottie Barnes, more of a role offensively, more of a role with the ball handling duties, obviously thriving under Darko Rajakovic. We know what Darko Rajakovic did to the careers of Ja, JJJ, and Baines, so we are seeing yet another player benefit under a player development coach that is Darko Rajakovic. So Scottie Barnes, he's evolving, and he continues to get better. We will see what else is in store for him. But let me know your thoughts, Raptors fans. How are you feeling after that incredible comeback win, that incredible Scottie Barnes performance? And let me know what direction you would like to see this team take over the long haul. Let me know your comments. Hit a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next video.